years of my life was romantic love. It was a quest. It was a passion. It was a burning desire. And this book was a gift from my friend in college. And he said, "Therese, I think you are a natural seducer," which obviously felt like a good compliment. "But this book will transform your life in more ways than just love. All of life is about seduction. All of life is knowing how to treat other people, to soothe them, to give them what they want, so you can get what you want too. It's not manipulative. It's generosity to the utmost." This book is so easy to read because you can just pick up a little bit and read a snippet. It's told through short stories of the past, and it's broken down into 2 sections. One is the first section. It will show you like traits of different types of seducers, like the siren, that type of lady who just, you can't turn your head away from her, like Marilyn Monroe. She would have been a siren. But then there's the coquette, which is the shy one and mysterious. And then of course there's the rake, which often us ladies fall for, which is the guy with a bad boy attitude that will stop at nothing to win your affections. You will see parts of yourself in all of these types of seducers. And then the second half is broke down into ways of seduction. The first rule of seduction is to always pick the right target. And oh my gosh, I have so many girlfriends that have violated this rule. It essentially is summarized as: make sure you seduce somebody that is open to your charms. For example, if somebody is super, super busy, it is hard to seduce them because seduction takes time and bandwidth so that they can fantasize about you. And also, I never took this as a negative, but different people will find different people attractive. So some people will find me attractive, and some people will be like, "Man." So if I was ever trying to seduce a gentleman, I would make sure first that he was open to my charms. Okay, oh my gosh. This book, Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. It's a novel. It's kind of like a peach read with a mysterious, like a mystery at the heart of it. But if you are into the law of attraction, or if you are into the idea that there's infinite possibilities that exist at all times, like there is the Therese here that's doing this video, and then there's a Therese that's sleeping on the couch, or a Therese that's in jail, or a Therese that's kissing someone. Infinite possibilities of Therese exist. And this is a mystery about how to transport yourself through those worlds. And I don't think I will be giving anything away when I say emotion is the secret. It's mysterious, it's entertaining, but the reason I feel like have seen infinite perspectives on one man's lifetime and how the way we think can trap or free us from any of these worlds. I would pay twice the price of the cover price of this book. It is fabulous. It's called Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. I have talked about this a little bit before. It's a book on negotiation. He was an FBI hostage negotiator. And before I read this book, I always thought negotiation was a game of bullies. These are probably some of my notes. I'll have to share one with you. Let me finish my sentence. I thought it was a game of bullies. Whoever was the biggest jerk won or pushed the other person into submission. However, obviously, that's not true. And Chris Voss changed my mind, because can you bully somebody that has taken hostages? Can you demand things of them? Or must you bend their reality to get them to surrender and release the hostages alive? This is what Chris Voss does so eloquently and fun. It is a fun read. He tells stories about how he was negotiating with kidnappers. I always wanted to be a spy, but truly, I do not have the nerves for it. But if you never read the book, let me give you a little takeaway that I wrote down on my note card. This works every single time in negotiation. Let's say you have been negotiating with somebody, but conversation has just ceased, stopped. All you do is you text them or email them these words: have you given up on this project? I have done this repeatedly and never have I gotten a negative answer. I told my husband to do this, and instantly the landlord that was ignoring him got back to him in less than 5 minutes. It works like magic. Why it's so effective is it evokes this principle of loss. The person feels like they're losing something, when really before they were just totally disengaged. Oh, another wonderful takeaway. Everybody's so afraid of this word. No, no, no. You actually, when you're learning to negotiate and become a master at it, you know the first thing that you're trying to get the other half to do is to say no, 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 no. Why would you want them to say no when you're probably seeking for a yes? Because it allows the other person to feel in control. It allows the other person to create a boundary that says, this is what I'm willing to accept. And it's not until that happens that the person feels safe to hear what you have to say. They have their defenses up. They feel sold too. They feel like you're trying to manipulate or shift them. So I always call people, and the first question I say is this the bad time? Even if it's a scheduled appointment, so that I can trigger the no response, so the person can feel safe and in control of the conversation. See, right here, beware of yes, master no. You know what that means. Have you ever just said yes to get rid of somebody? Oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Something like that. Although we seek and want to hear yes, no is actually a much stronger starting point. I could go on and on about this book. Just rent it from the library or buy it. I check out a lot of books from the library because my place is so small that I don't have a lot of space for things. However, I do recommend buying that book if you're interested because I studied it. I haven't mastered it, but I'd say I'm pretty good at it. And it has changed my life. Nothing will make you money faster than negotiating. But there is really a magic formula for how you ask that makes all the difference. Now, I did a whole video on my other channel about this book. I love it so much. The Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. This also is an easy read. Everything that I have shown you here is this easy read. You can pick up and read 2 pages and then meditate on it. I love that because it gives me time to reflect and internalize and make the thought my own, which is the whole point. And this book is exactly what it sounds like. Millionaires and billionaires think differently. Everything that you have in your life got there because you thought about it first. Your bed that you might be laying on, it got there because you thought, I need a bed. And so it goes. And so if you want to get richer the easy way, change the way you think. And so sometimes when I ask myself, why am I not as rich as I think I should be? I flip through this book and ask myself, am I practicing the wealth principle or the trapped principle? I'll give you a few examples. Rich people focus on opportunities. Poor people focus on obstacles. That's divine timing that page came up. Because right now, during the pandemic, there's probably a lot of uncomfortable change. But the most opportunity comes in crisis. Crisis creates opportunity. If you can learn to embrace crisis and see the gifts that it has to offer, it will make you wildly wealthy. An example. Let's say you were an investor and you noticed back in March that the market fell 1,000 points off its high. You could have easily picked up amazing companies, Disney, Amazon, Apple, all these blue chip, high quality say money is a team sport. You have to give, but you have to be also open to receive. And receiving can come in a lot of ways. Receiving help, receiving compliments, receiving information. It is a very broad blade, but if you have trouble just saying yes and thank you, you are blocking your fortune from you, and you don't have to work any harder to get richer. You simply have to learn how to say yes and thank you. I know it sounds simple, but for some of my clients this is insanely difficult. But I promise you, if you try, if you practice, it will get easier and easier and easier. That is the truth of all things. The last story I have for you is not in a book. It's a story my mom told me when I was a kid, and has never left me. And I started carrying on the tradition of saying it to my kids. It will change your life. You just have to ask yourself, which character do you identify with, and know that you can change that in an instant. Here's the story. There were two twins, the optimist and the pessimist, and their parents were growing gravely concerned. With optimist, nothing could go wrong. Everything was roses, even when it wasn't. And for pessimist, no matter how much the parents tried to cheer them up, or the slightest infraction, he was always depressed. So the parents decided that they knew exactly what to do. They would take them to the doctor. They went to the doctor. The doctor said, "Oh, this will be no problem. Bring them here on their next birthday." The parents were elated. Finally, the problem will be solved. So, on the children's next birthday, the parents promptly brought them to the doctor's office. The doctor said welcome and escorted the children to two different rooms. To pessimist, he put him in a room full of treasures, candy, toys, everything the child's heart could desire, and locked the door. Then he kindly escorted optimist into a room full of horse poop and locked the door. He told the parents not to worry. In 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, their problems would be solved. An hour passed, and he went back to pessimist's room with glee. He slowly opened the door, only to see the child crying. He said, "Good heavens, child, what is wrong? You have all these treats and sweets and games, more than any child could imagine." "Oh," cried pessimist. "If I eat all the treats, I might get sick. If I play with the toys, I might hurt myself." Oh, the doctor had never seen anything like it before. He threw his hands up in frustration, but determined that it would be easy to be successful with optimist. He flung open the door to optimist person.